Hi guys, welcome to this week's My Halifax. Obviously we are not filming one of our normal videos, just with everything that's going on the last couple of days, we kind of really just wanted to sit down, make a video about the coronavirus and just swap some information, share actually a really good feel-good story, and just kind of get everyone to be on the same page and calm down a little bit, because I know this is a scary time, but it doesn't have to be. When I think back to kind of like late December, early January, when news of coronavirus started, I think a lot of people started to panic, and I think part of that was the way it was recorded in the media. And there's a lot of misinformation out there right now. We're actually going to link the website for the World Health Organization and the stuff that's been done locally here in Nova Scotia, just so people can get more information if they need it. But I think what's happened is, because it's been since January that this started to break as a news story, and a little bit of sensational media coverage has caused people to start to panic. Now that we've seen things like the Premier League in England, the Formula One Grand Prix, the NBA, the NFL, and the NHL all cancel games, and a lot of local stuff starts to get cancelled, I think people are really starting to get scared. And what I think everyone needs to remember is those aren't being cancelled because of coronavirus and a mortality issue. It's more to get ahead of the disease and stop it spreading. With any kind of disease like this, it's not contagious unless there's contact. So when you go to big events, you do bump into people and you are close to people, and obviously if someone's sick and they're coughing, you could then become affected. So if everyone doesn't go to events like this, as much as it's inconvenient and it is kind of disappointing if you've saved up money to go to a concert and then it's been cancelled, it is so that we can all basically get the medical help we need if we need it. I mean, you don't want to overtax the system because we don't take precautions ahead of time, and a lot of this stuff is a preemptive measure. So yes, it's scary. I mean, I never thought in my life I'd see like 7 of the main sports I watch just get shut down in the space of like 24 hours. I don't think I've ever known Disneyland close. I think it's the 3rd time in their history they've done that. So that kind of stuff can be scary. But again, it's being done for a good reason. If a lot of us do what the World Health Organization is recommending, like wash our hands, sanitize our hands, not shake hands with pitch strangers, keep a bit more distance than we normally would. And if we start to feel sick and we do start to like have symptoms, reach out to people like 811 and then discuss like, do I need to be tested? And then if you are tested and you do have it, self-isolate then. Because there's a long way to go before you've actually got to that kind of pandemic situation. A lot of this stuff again is just to stop the spread getting any worse, and I think that's a good thing, because we do have a medical system here that is at times stretched thinner, and you've got to think about it. If you're going in for surgery in the next month or 2, or you're expecting a child in the next month or 2, that could be a very problematic situation if we haven't done things like cancel big public events, because you've now allowed a pandemic to spread amongst us as a community. So I do think it's a good thing, even if it is inconvenient for a lot of us. A lot of the things that we like to do on a regular basis involves being around big crowds. Like last week we were at the Seaport Farmers Market, and it was busy. So you can imagine that if someone was sick with coronavirus and they were there, the amount of people that would be exposed to that. So although none of us like to see places like the Seaport Farmers Market closed, it is a responsible decision to make sure that we all stay safe. And it's also really important to remember that unless you have symptoms, you don't need to call 811. 811 is there for right now it's for if you've traveled and you're showing symptoms, or you're showing symptoms having been exposed to someone that's traveled. That's a very important resource, and it shouldn't be overwhelmed with people looking for information. If you're looking for information, we're going to link below the World Health Organization information, so you can go directly there, because for most of us, we're probably not going to be affected by this, other than having like our daily routine interrupted. And right now the rates of people recovering are actually pretty high, so we are in actually a good position, and the measures everyone's taking are actually a good thing. And with that in mind, I know we're hearing lots of crazy stories about people fighting over toilet paper and stuff like that, which is kind of sad, because we're a community and we have to come together and support each other. And it's times like this when we should really help each other, be kind to each other, make each other laugh. And it's nice that so far in Halifax we haven't really heard of any kind of that craziness. Now the grocery shops have been picked clean, like there's a lot of people hunking down kind of as if the apocalypse is coming, but we're not anywhere near that. So just remember that there's others that might be in need, especially people that are older than you and like the elderly. Like, they won't be able to get out as regularly as you. So, you know, take what you need, but don't take any more than you need, because there's others that are going to need that. And with that too, it is really important that we get out and support local. Right now, what we recommend is we stay away from large public gatherings that are 150 or more. So that doesn't mean that if you want to go and stock up on canned goods that you couldn't go to a local farmer's market, or if you wanted fresh fruit and veg, you couldn't again go to a farmer's market. Even some of the coffee shops and restaurants, they do have stuff that we can take and use as food or food prep, because for a lot of our small businesses, if they don't have regular support from us, they will go out of business because their profit margins are razor thin. So a lot of people like Cape and Cal are putting up extra sanitary stations and places you can wash your hands and keep yourself clean, so you can still go in there and support them, because these guys rely on the communities to support them. So it is really important that even though, you know, things are starting to look like we might have to, you know, be out less, we can still get out and support local. Also, things like gift cards are really useful, especially if you know that, hey, you know what, I don't shop at this place, but I know my friend really likes coffee, or they really like going to an Asian market. It's a good way that you can support that business and then help out a friend too. So you're helping two people at one time. And that's the kind of thing we're going to have to start doing, because again, if we've got older members of our community or family members that don't have necessarily the resources or the time to get out to a big box store, but there's a local place closer, it might make more sense to like kind of go that route to help each other. And also, there are some local businesses that are offering online shopping, like Cape and Cal and World Tea House. So that way you'll be able to buy with them online and they'll ship it to you, so you can still support them and you don't even have to leave your house, which is actually a really good thing, considering that if things do get worse or you are actually quarantined, it still means that you can get out. And sometimes if you are sick, it's nice to actually go and get your local comfort. So it's a great way to see even the local businesses coming in to help each other, and that's what we really need right now. For us as a YouTube channel, we're probably gonna pull away from making videos about big events, partly because they're probably gonna be cancelled until we kind of get a better handle on how the situation is going to develop. And also, we just felt it'd be more responsible if we didn't get into big crowd situations. So we're going to go and focus on parks and local businesses. And we've made that decision for the local businesses, because I know that the next few weeks and months are going to be tough on them. And B, we need to make sure that in a time like this, we're living a more healthy lifestyle. And we are fortunate in our city to have lots of parks and lots of places you can go and walk around, get some fresh air, get some activity. And you're not going to be in close contact with the people. So it'll allow you to get that exercise, get out and about, and it'll be good for your mental health to be out, especially if you are struggling and starting to worry. So there is a feel-good story that I heard yesterday from a product that I actually use and love. They've not asked me to make this video, they're not paying me in any way, but it's, like I say, it's a product I use, so I do believe in it. It's a product called Bom Bom, and what they actually do is they allow you to send video messages inside your own email, and they compress it so it can just be sent in a regular email. In certain parts of the States and in certain parts of Canada, where students are being told to stay home or being isolated, or even in some cases may have even gone through self-quarantine, it's going to be hard for those teachers to be able to give the educational needs to those pupils the way they normally would. Yes, you can do a lot through email, but I know as someone that's dyslexic, if I got 4 pages worth of text to read, that's going to be really hard for me to do. And also for the teachers, it's going to be a lot of time to keep writing that stuff out. So Bom Bom is offering teachers free access to their video platform. I'm going to link it below for anyone that is a teacher, or for anyone that you know is a teacher, so you can share that link with them. And what it will mean is they can give real-time feedback face-to-face with their students, and you're not losing any kind of that connection and that guidance and that encouragement through text, because it's video and it's face-to-face. And I just felt that I wanted to wrap this video up on a note like that, because it's kind of the sentiment that I think we all need to embrace more, is less panic and fear and more support and love, because we're all going through this together. So we have 2 choices, which is we can come together as a community or support each other and get through it and make the best of a bad situation, or we can be fearful and angry. And the latter one doesn't make sense to me, because right now things could get a lot worse, but if we get ahead of it like we are, it's going to be okay, and we're going to be together as a community, and that's the whole point of being a community, is to support each other. So thank you for watching this video. Again, if you've got any questions or you're looking for answers, we've got the information linked below. Reach out to us if you've got any questions or you want to ask more about that Bom Bom program for a teacher. We'll see you next week, and we'll be out. We shot a video early in January of a very nice snowy park, which I thought looked beautiful, which I was going to hold on to because the weather's kind of changed, but now I'm going to release it next week. And I hope you all stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you next week.